Welcome back to Breaking the Habit 2024. I'm your host, LP Soldier 0303, and we've got one heck of a crew for some Silent Hill 2. I didn't even mean for that to rhyme, and I'm actually kind of glad that worked out.
That was good.
I appreciate that. We met the dog ending, by the way, for Silent Hill 2 remake, but before we get to remake, we got to see how the game originally looked. Well, sort of, because this is an enhanced edition, but still, we want to see how it looked originally, and then we'll see the remake. But I'm going to pass things over to Nyiddle here, and he's going to take you through with his amazing commentary team for a Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition. Nyiddle, take it away.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm Nyiddle. I'm joined by Abby and deathtropes, good friends of mine, for commentary. And this is Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition. Basically, it's the OG version of Silent Hill 2. It's on PC, but it's enhanced. So instead of it being kind of annoying to run, it has a lot of quality of life features. We get to play it in widescreen. And most importantly, we are playing on set seed, which basically eliminates the need for RNG manipulation. So I wouldn't be able to hang out on the on the main menu screen if it wasn't for set seed. But yeah, I'm gonna get started. Abby and deathtropes, if you want to introduce yourselves while we get going, because we're gonna be running for a little while.
Go ahead, Abby.
Okay, I'll go first. Hi, I'm Abby. I actually run the PS2 version of this game, as well as Enhanced Edition, as well as the remake. You'll actually hear me for Illbleed later. Yeah, I also run on controller, which some runners don't do. Tropes, how about you?
Hi, my name is deathtropes. I run this game. I actually first run it on PS2 as well, and then I run it on PC, on the vanilla, and on the new enhanced edition that you're seeing here, and the remake as well. Yeah, lots of Silent Hill games also.
So getting started right here, you're going to notice a common trend on this run. A lot of games saved on the screen. We're basically going to be using quick save quick loads, which is a feature that's unique to the PC port of the game. And you may have seen me pick up some text really quick. We're basically going to be using the quick save quick load to store text at certain points of the run in order to reset James's stamina for the quick saves, and also store text which skips triggers and enemy loads. You may have seen me pause buffer there. We actually got a 1 in 10 trick right there called Angela skip, where instead of having to see that white fade in screen, you can actually skip that if you sort of mash the cutscene skip button. So that was kind of cool. Also, to explain, test build 3.3 in the upper right hand corner. The reason for that is because I am on a slightly older version of Enhanced Edition. If you yourself get Enhanced Edition, it won't be it won't be a test build. And the only reason I'm using the test build right now is because it is the last stable version of Enhanced Edition that I was using, and so for marathon purposes, I was like, yeah, let's stick with the stable one. So opening of this game, obviously, if you don't know the story, we're looking for wife sent letter, James sad, James guilty, and we are drawn to the town of Silent Hill, and we're trying to find Mary in her special place. And you may notice that there's no reason to go back because we're going to look for Mary. This text is going to be on the screen for a while. So what I did there was I faced the fence, and I stored the text of the fence, which usually tells you, there's no point in going back. This is a point of no return. And using the game saved glitch, we were able to store that text. And this is the first and only text for kind of this whole area that we can store. So it's important that we don't drop it. So this entire section, I'm sort of mashing quick save. I actually have it on a turbo button, and I am playing this game on controller here, just because this game tends to play a lot better on controller. That's not to say you couldn't on keyboard. I think a few people did speed run this game on keyboard, but it's a bit of a hassle. So controller's
Yeah.
kind of the way.
I believe Punchy does, and Tropes, don't you play this game on keyboard?
No, I use a controller. I know
Oh.
that Punchy does a hybrid thing, like nyiddle does, where he'll
Well, yeah,
switch
I
to
do.
the keyboard here and there for
Yeah.
certain puzzles and stuff.
Exactly. So we just skipped a trigger point right there. I can actually drop this text now. And that trigger point would normally be the part where James looks at the ground and he goes, "Oh, is that blood?" And hilariously enough, we do actually. There's no way to skip that in the in the remake. So the
Not yet.
remake actually, yeah, not yet. The remake actually brings back having to go and get the plank and the radio. So we skipped having to get the plank and the radio. Silent Hill just got a little more silent and a little less planky. You may have also noticed we picked up a chainsaw there at the beginning. So that's a new game plus item. And that's going to be our primary damage for pretty much all the bosses. We're going to sort of cheese our way through all these bosses. And the chainsaw and the hyper spray are sort of the two new game plus weapons of choice if you're really looking to murder everything, which James always is. And yeah.
And if you're not too comfortable using the chainsaw, the reason we want to pick that up is because there's something later on where we need to break a wall and guns won't do it. And so the chainsaw is the only melee weapon that we pick up. So that's really why we're picking that up. Because otherwise we'll soft lock and be able to continue.
Yeah, exactly. So I briefly touched on it. We save game to refresh James's stamina. However, when we're indoors, we actually don't need to save the game. Much like the remake, James does not move as fast indoors as he does outdoors. And we're just going to come over here and grab this flashlight. And we're out of this room. There's going to be a common theme of me running into a room, grabbing a thing, and then running out of the room. And a large part of what this run comes down to at sort of like the higher levels is optimizing your movement. I did grind every record for this for enhanced edition specifically at a point. I completed the sweep. I think a few of those records have since been sniped from me, but it's one of those things where you really don't realize until you've done it 100 times that all these like little micro movements and interacting quickly and getting through doors as fast as possible really adds up in the long run. So you know you can lose time in a straight line essentially. And we're gonna quick save here to skip that little animation right there that James normally does. He stands still, and then we're gonna say hi to Pyramid Head and go through the door. So we actually soft locked when we hit that game saved, and to fix the soft lock, we have to hit the walk button. So that's why you saw me stop at the door for a second. And it's funny because in the remake, there is a way to skip that same scream so that James doesn't stop in the hallway. It's a little different though.
Yeah, you just hit a quick dodge button and you skip right through it.
Yeah, and
Or
I
you
thought
can
it was.
reload.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
can
didn't
also
know
do that.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that there's a way to skip something in both the remake and the original.
That
Granted,
is interesting.
you know, like we're using the game saved glitch here to do it. So this is the first major RNG point. I mentioned before we're on set seed, so this clock time is actually always going to be in the same position. And the clock is one of the most important sort of like time loss, time save sections when you're grinding out this run. So the reason that set seed was created is because on the worst scale of things, you can lose like 13 or 14 seconds on a bad clock if the clock starts off in a terrible position. Whereas, as you saw there, sometimes it only takes maybe half a second to a second to get the clock into the right position. So the position that we're putting the clock into is always the same, but the position that it starts off on is always different. So yeah. It's also like in the speed run, it's like 6 or 7 minutes into the run essentially. So resetting at minute 6 or 7 is kind of a bummer. And when you're grinding out runs, you end up just resetting at clock over and over and over again. So set seed was created as a special speedrun mode in the enhanced edition, which anybody can, if you have the enhanced edition at home, you can just turn it on, play around with it. But it basically locks down all of the puzzles to be a specific thing each time, and pretty nice.
Now, it should be noted that it is a real seed you can get in the game.
Oh yeah,
If I recall the number correctly, it's like frame 48,421 or something like that.
I actually have it written down. Just 1 second. I just have the window covered up. It's frame 51,963, and basically the seed that you get is dependent on the frame that you start the game on. So, like from the main menu, when you hit Start Game, that's the frame that you get. So normally, in a traditional sort of default Silent Hill 2 speedrun, you would start the game as soon as possible to try and get a preferable seed. However, in this, the seed is just already set for you. If you wanted to wait at the main menu for frame number 51,963, it'd be 14 minutes and 26 seconds of sitting at the main menu, and then you would have to press start game frame perfect.
Literally at that exact moment, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, we simplified that. Set seed mode was created, and we just get to start new game from the main menu each time.
If you wanted to do that for OG version, which runs at 30, you're looking at about 28.86 seconds.
Yeah.
So have fun with that.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note the seed manipulation stuff actually does work on console. Granted, the process for setting it up is a bit different. So you would have to like set your clock to 1970 and your region to Japan, and I think there's something else about it.
It's set your clock to 2000. It's the year 2099, December 31st, at 11:59, and depending how fast you want to be, or if you're using a burnt disk or what have you, to about 59:30 to 59:50, again depending on your play method, because obviously you're losing because the clock starts ticking the second you get out of setting the clock. However, one thing that's a little different is once the splash screen hits, your seed is set on console, so you would be able to do what nyiddle did at the beginning of this run and sit on the screen for as long as you wanted.
Yeah. It's a bit complicated, the seed stuff, but after enough hours of reading into it and dealing with it and witnessing it yourself, and sometimes you'll start the game and wind up on the same seed multiple times, and that's when it starts to click, where you're like, okay, this is like kind of, you know, it's pseudo RNG, it's manipulatable. Oh, my movement's a little bit wonky today, but
It's also one of
That's
the
Oh, and this is
yeah, this room is so many camera angles.
also with fixed seed, we always get whispers. In the OG, there's a chance to not get whispers, or get whispers, whereas remake they just give us whispers every time.
James Sunderland is in DBD, so
That's first boss done.
yeah. Yeah, that was Pyramid Head. Pretty easy boss fight with the chainsaw. That'll be a common trend.
And one thing there is you actually don't want to go to those stairs as Pyramid Head is directly leaving, because he will turn around and try to kill you.
Yeah, and it's actually a one-hit KO when Pyramid Head is leaving, which is pretty funny, seeing people get trolled on their first playthrough. They're like, oh, I did it. Pyramid Head's finally leaving the room. And then they run up to him and they just get, like, destroyed.
So, speaking of which, my first time playing the remake, I finished that fight, and then I was like, I wonder if he still does that, and sure enough, he absolutely will attack you again if you run up to him.
Totally, yeah. It was great that they kept that. So, we're back outside. We just finished Apartments. Apartments is pretty straightforward. We were a bit distracted talking about the set. I could talk about set seed for like 3 hours.
You need to skip the cutscene.
So this is that park. So what I did there was I quick saved to move while the cutscene was playing, and that eventually sort of deloads the area, and we just ran into Maria, which is cool. She'll be with us for a little while. You won't really notice her. We're just going to be kind of outpacing her the whole run. She'll just kind of like pop up in the cutscenes, and then we'll go back to running past her. And this is the important part. This is the part that I can't forget because of the category that we're running. This is the part where we actually go and get the dog key. And the dog key in the remake is actually in totally different spots, plural. And it's a little bit more complicated and involved than this one, but it's cool
And you
that we got-
also only have one chance to get each piece,
Mhm.
whereas
yeah,
in
that's true. In this,
because
if you miss
you
it,
don't have to
You can
get,
get
it
again.
right now. You could
Yeah.
get it at night if you wanted to.
yeah, yeah, if you miss it in the remake, you're kind of
Yeah, you're SOL.
totally screwed. Maria hates bowling.
She also hates movie theaters.
She
I don't know
also
what
hates
she likes.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. So this is the famous pizza cutscene. You think we have time to watch it?
We're gonna watch it, aren't we?
I feel like we have to, right?
It
It's
only
like the
takes a
pizza
second,
tax.
Yeah.
Eddie?
Yeah.
It doesn't appear in the remake, so
You have to look for it in the
James.
remake.
it's our one chance. Yeah,
Met
that's
in the
true.
Apartment building?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, it should be noted, by the way, the reason we see Eddie in the apartment buildings is because if you don't, Angela doesn't spawn in.
Here, Eddie?
Eddie is a trigger to get Angela to spawn into that room to grab the prisoner coin
Yes.
in order to get the key to get to Pyramid Head.
Wait! Come back! Eddie, let's go after her.
Huh? Laura? But why?
Laura. Is that her name?
That's what she said.
This town is full of monsters. How can you
How can you sit there and eat pizza?
She was fine by herself. She said a fatso like me would just slow her down.
Forget you.
forget you?
Yeah. Team's message.
All right, we paid the pizza tax.
All right.
The run is blessed. We're actually gonna run right here instead of left. Either way you run, you get interrupted by Maria. Little fun fact: if you run to the right, she interrupts you just like a frame faster, and it also, I think, it puts points away from the Maria ending. I think it makes it more likely that you're gonna end up with leave because Maria had to yell at you to go the right way.
So it's funny. I actually didn't know about that. I watched your tutorial on this, just kind of like as a refresher to like play this
Yeah.
game again. And really good, by the way. If you do want to learn this game, guys, definitely watch nyiddle's tutorial. It's very, very good. It's very informative, and yeah, definitely check it out. But yeah, I didn't know about that until you showed it. Where if you can go the wrong way, and it's like what 0.2 seconds faster or something like that. It's minuscule, but it is faster.
Yeah. This is very much a run where at the higher level we're looking to save,
Oh,
half a
absolutely.
second
Especially
to
if you're doing set seed.
yeah, set seed. So because it's set seed, since we don't have to worry about RNG, it is actually the most optimized category, or the most optimizable, I would say. Now we're in hospital. Hospital compared to the remake goes pretty quick. In fact, that'll be the thing with all of the remake sections. You're gonna see a lot more of the areas.
Everything.
Yeah. But we're coming in here. We're gonna grab shotgun, which is actually gonna be our sort of primary weapon for this upcoming boss. And we're gonna grab some key items here. Didn't mean to grab those shotgun shells, but never hurts. We're gonna totally body check Maria, I guess.
Which does take away
It
points from
does
the
take away.
ending.
Yeah, that also takes away points. Those are actually sort of muscle memory reflexes that I have from running new game category, where we actually do get to the end of the game. And in those categories, it is a tiny bit faster to get leave ending compared to Maria ending.
Also, one thing about speaking of endings is you can't watch the endings in the run because for whatever reason the IGT still counts every ending except for dog ending. A dog ending it'll count up for 1 extra second only.
Yeah.
But during leave and while Mary's reading the letter, it's like, nah, I'm just gonna keep going, and it's like,
Yeah.
that is unfortunately something they brought over to the original.
Yeah, so this is where the set seed really kind of comes into play. We know that code in advance. Normally, on default, there's a complicated process where we would figure out which seed we were on, so we would know those codes without having to go check them. Because I didn't check the carbon paper and I didn't check the blood on the wall. We just know the codes in advance. On set seed, those are always the same solutions. So it's 8321 and 1851. And there, I'm going to do a quick save and a quick load to actually skip the elevator screen. And we're going to say hi to Laura. And now we're going to say hi to Flesh Lips. So our second boss here, the blood is purple. There's a blood color option in the settings, which is always fun. And this boss fight should be pretty quick. Yep. As long as they don't slide across.
Yep, exactly. I was gonna say
at the end. Yeah, so there's just like a random time loss that can kind of just kill a run, where Flesh Lips will slide across the sort of arena instead of just dying. But what you want to happen is what happened, where they just put their legs up and they're like, GG, we got blasted. So now we're gonna collect a few more items, and then we're gonna collect Maria, and we're gonna head out of here. And you'll notice like those fade in, fade out sections for the elevator. Normally you would have to sit on the elevator and watch James wait as the elevator goes up. But we're using quick save, quick load to just kind of get past that.
Yeah, and also that trick cannot be done on just controller only. You have to use keyboard and mouse for that.
Oh yeah, for the elevator strats, yeah. If you try and do that on controller, it soft locks actually. Anyway,
I'm glad you're alive.
There it is.
What do you mean?
Are you
anyway?
Curious, are you going to show the elevator trick with
Oh.
the what you posted the other day?
Which one? The elevator teleport?
No, with the quiz.
Oh, the quiz.
Is that soft lock? I don't think.
No. That was just a meme, but I mean, I could do it. So it was discovered in the remake that if you shoot the elevator panel, you can skip this dialogue, and it turns out works in the OG.
Yep.
No, that's debate. I skipped the cutscene, but that's my new meme.
That was fun, yeah.
You're gonna see that in the remake, though. I just decided to recreate it in the OG.
Who discovered that?
I think it was somebody casually, actually. I don't even know if they were necessarily
just so mad at the game. Just like,
speedrunning. Yeah, I think they were just doing their like second or third playthrough, and they were like, I wonder if I can get through this. You know what I can show off is the broken text here.
Oh yeah, you should.
Yeah. So we have to do this strat on hard difficulty, and I'll just show it off. Basically, we come through the door, we quick save, quick load, and we bring up It's Too Dark to Read the Map, right? So now we're running through the hallway. Pyramid Head is just not here. Normally Pyramid Head would be here, and he'd be chasing Maria. He's just not here. Maria's she's just casually strolling along. And then as long as I drop this text, like somewhere around here, now all the text in the game is broken. So you'll notice the captions are not exactly what they're supposed to be. So save anywhere.
Anyone decided?
Forest. Parking lot.
There's my motorhome.
So the reason that happens is because when we like sort of break the game's text, it just kind of starts going through memory and starts pulling up random text from the game's memory. That is a strat that we need to do in hard mode runs, just because Maria almost always dies in hard. But that was Hospital. Fun time.
Also, it should be noted that while we're in that map screen there, you can move James around, but you can't do anything because you
Yeah.
can't see where he is.
Yeah, you can hear his footsteps walking around in the room, which is kind of funny. And it would have been nice if there was a way to skip that. You may also notice the red cross in the lower right. We will be injured for like the majority of this run. You may have noticed the part where Pyramid Head threw James off a roof, and that in this difficulty, that's like our one main point of injury. If we were doing hard mode, I'd usually want to heal up at this point, but since the difficulty's low and the chance of us getting hit is relatively low, I would pray. We should be okay. But yeah, we won't heal up until like Labyrinth basically. And
Oh,
theoretically,
you actually heal in this run because
yeah.
I don't heal ever.
You know, even after getting the one on the elevator.
Yeah, I don't heal after that. Like,
Oh, wow.
I just go through it.
Yeah, I heal. Like you don't even need to really, because it's chance of death is relatively low.
You don't really have a lot of opportunities to take damage as long as
Yeah.
you're moving.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, the enemies in this game are pretty chill. On this difficulty at least. On hard, they're a bit more difficult. So you may have seen the text storage earlier. Now it's dark, and we actually don't even have a map, but we can pull up this
But
text.
it's too dark to read it.
It's too dark to read the map that we don't have. And so we can store this text on the screen. So we now have mobile text storage. We can store text literally anywhere as long as we're in the dark. And it's going to come up one more time in the run. And the reason that we need to do this is because the trigger that we skipped way at the beginning of the run is actually still active. If I step in the wrong spot with no text stored, we'll actually trigger that opening cutscene where we have to go and get the plank in the radio. And the game like super doesn't like that. So we generally need to avoid that. And the trigger is actually a really small area. You can drop the text like way earlier than you'd expect. Like the trigger is probably ends like right there. So from here, we could actually just drop this text if we wanted to. But now you'll notice enemies have spawned in because I dropped the text, which won't be a problem. But theoretically, we would usually on a run hold the text until we got to this next area.
Do you mind if
And
I
if you're
pop
ever
in?
looking-
Oops, sorry,
Yeah,
Abby.
go.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Just want to read off 2 donations.
Oh, yeah.
We've got $20 from Nemeoki that says $20 is $20. You are correct. Thank you very much. And then we have $2.01 from L. Threethal. That just says $3,100. So with that, we've hit $3,100.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you,
Nice.
everyone.
Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you, Nemayo. I know that dude.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
Yeah. So a lot of running. We're in the Otherworld streets. It's very dark. We're running around. We need to just collect 2 items before we head off to the Historical Society. We grabbed a wrench, which there will be a wrench in the remake, but it's actually used in a different way, in maybe a way that makes more sense.
More sense.
Yeah.
Honestly, it does. Yeah.
Because the way that we're going to use it in this one is kind of goofy. But yeah, we basically need to get the key to the Historical Society. At this point, James knows where he needs to go. He got a nice letter and information telling him where to go on his map. And we just need to unlock this. And the reason I pause there is just to skip that cutscene as fast as possible. So there's like a little pause buffer in between. And then I actually did a quick save coming out of that. There's a lot that goes into that one little interaction. I did a quick save coming out of that to give James some movement coming out of the cutscene. If you quick save too soon, like before you pick up the key, you will have neither the key nor the wrench, and you cannot open the box. And that is probably the funniest way to hard lock your game, because you've quick saved. So if you load, you're going to be at the point where you quick saved, and you won't have the key, and you won't have the wrench. You won't be able to go to the historical society. The wrench will be gone from your inventory, and your save will be pretty much ripped.
I've done that once, and it was really funny, and I was very confused. I didn't know that could even happen.
Yeah, it's like it's like a bad hard lock when
Mhm.
you think about it.
Also, I don't think you went into this, but if you're quick saving and you go to interact with an item and you're still quick saving just by like happenstance,
Mm.
you'll soft lock your game.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah. So like quick saving liberally is something that happens during this run. You'll see like by the end of this run, I'm gonna guess like 4,000 saves somewhere around there is where I average. I have it on a turbo button. It's not like spamming it, but it's going at like one every, I don't know, 100 milliseconds, 500 milliseconds. So yeah, a lot of quick saves. The reason we're using a turbo, I was the one that actually, I was like, hey guys, my finger really hurts from pressing quick save like 4,000 times in a run. Can we just like turbo button this bad boy and and call it a day? And realistically, turboing the quick save, it doesn't present any like tactical advantage really.
Yeah, exactly.
It just saves your finger from
Mhm.
finger pain, and I am a big fan of not having finger pain.
I'm a big fan of not destroying my hands for
Yeah.
a 38-minute run.
Yeah, or my controllers for that matter.
Yeah, that. Excuse me,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Can I share a funny Silent Hill community story
Absolutely.
that Tropes probably knows? So, 2 years ago, it was discovered that Silent Hill 3's quick save, or no, not quick save, item use, or what button was it? Yeah, it was the item use
Mikey.
button.
Yeah.
Would pause the timer briefly, and there was a panic that Silent Hill 2 might also have had this problem. And
Oh yeah, I remember.
Silent
that.
Hill 2 is more broken.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it would have caused much bigger of a headache. Also, you'll notice that nyiddle just quick loaded there. That is the only spot that, other than the elevator spot, that you can legally quick load in the game. Quick loading invalidates your run if you do it anywhere else, because what it also does is it backs the time, like it
Rolls it back.
rolls it back. That's the word.
Yeah.
I'm looking for.
There is actually
Do it
one
in
more spot.
here too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one more spot that was like recently sanctioned as being allowed that we're going to do a quick save, quick load. And the reason we do it in the bug room is actually kind of unique to the bug room. We pick up the key without picking up the key, and that allows us to get out of the bug room without having to do the puzzle in the bug room, which normally you have to brute force RNG that. So we kind of avoided having to do a puzzle, and we avoid the bugs, and everything's great. And we're going to do it one more time, actually, coming up soon. Keep in mind, like, pay attention. If you're going to pay attention to one thing and you're going to hang out for the Silent Hill 2 Remake run, keep in mind that this is the prison section. And the prison section is almost done. It's like a 2-minute section. And we just run in, we do a couple puzzles, bing, bang, boom, we're out of there. It's...
In the remake, it's 20.
yeah. This is the prison in the original. It is short. It is quick. We are in and out in no time. Enemies don't even really care.
I
We're just
feel like
kinda
the
hanging
prison
out.
has, like, the historical society through the prison has has the most potential run killers.
Yeah.
In the whole game, besides
Absolutely.
like Mary and besides Mary, which
Yeah.
on new game can be rough.
So right there, I did another quick save, quick load, and that's to skip the hatch opening animation. Normally, there's it's a pretty good full screen art actually of the hatch, like with the puzzle taking place. And Enhanced Edition specifically has all of those full screen 3D art things redone and touched up, and they look super beautiful in the Enhanced Edition. If you are going to play this game on PC, I would really recommend playing it with the Enhanced Edition. The team worked on this for like 8 years and change, and they're continuing to work on this and fix bugs and stuff. So now we're on an elevator for like a minute.
Yay.
Yay! We
Then
finally
I'll
healed up.
take the shot
I was gonna say
to.
that's your. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Go
Yeah. We have a $50 donation from Anonymous that says Nyiddle is a great dude and Silent Hill 2 is a classic game.
Aw,
Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Yay!
Making me blush.
I say, Abby, this is where you heal, right here.
hmm
See, I never pick up the stuff in here because I think it like I was like, if I pick stuff up, does it like pause the timer or like does it take longer for the elevator to go?
Nope.
So I'm like, so I never pick anything up.
Yep, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, pick everything up. Why
Mhm.
not? Well, they actually don't, because then it clutters
mess
up
up
your
your
inventory
inventory,
a little bit. Yeah. So this is the labyrinth section. This is another. Pay attention to
Yes.
this section if you when you watch the remake, because definitely expanded upon. We said hi to Maria. She's chilling. We're gonna pick this up. That hitbox for picking up those wire cutters is absurdly small, so it's super easy to accidentally go down the ladder. Speaking of hitboxes, like
Yep.
that that one for that ladder is crazy. Like I don't know
It's like
visually
10
what's
feet away.
going on. Yeah. We're gonna come here. Most satisfying and or annoying sound in the speed run right there. The wire snip sound. This section's a little bit confusing the first time you see it. It is rather labyrinthian, but like once you do it all of once or twice, it's super straightforward. It's actually really
Yeah.
easy to get through clean.
Ooh, you go for that. I tend to hang back a bit, shoot it once with the shotgun so it scuttles away so you're not hooked on his hitbox for a second.
Oh, yeah. So what I did there, actually, I did the one shot, and then you wait, like, I want to say half a second, and you do the second shot, and he dies, and the hitbox goes away, so you can run through.
If you shoot him just super fast, then there's a chance he won't be dead, and then he'll be in your way, and he may
Yes.
not skittle out of your way.
Worse of all, he skittles into you. So right here is the abstract daddy boss fight, and we're not going to do it. So
Great fight. Good job.
that was it. Great fight. GG easy, no re. And we're gonna come over here. Arsonist 1 is gonna be the solution. This is also because of set seed that we immediately know our arsonist. And we're gonna
Now,
come
if
over
only
here.
there was another way we could instantly know our arsonist. Although, to be fair, the game remake really likes having arsonist 4.
I see.
the
You say
answer.
that everybody has a different. Everybody
it's-
has a
for
different
me-
one that works for them. For me, it's
Oh,
one.
I do. Yeah, for me, I heard on hard people get 3 and 4 a lot, or like
Yeah.
3 and 5. I get 1 or 4 every single run.
I get 1 or 5 most of the time, and
Interesting.
it drives me insane. I like we need a national poll to figure out what's going on with the Hanged Man on Silent Hill 2
honest,
remake.
I would much rather have a way to know what bug room is.
Yeah, Bug Room also is a bit of a pain. So that was the labyrinth, and again, 2-minute section. Keep in mind the
It's so weird
remake.
to see this game goes so fast.
Yeah. So I mean, like, we're condensing this game down to the bare minimum. If you do play this game casually as it's intended, this is like I would say like 8 to 12-hour game, depending on how lost you end up getting. So
Yeah,
Eddie,
the
right here.
PS2 speedrun can be about an
Okay.
hour and a half.
And then the super hard part right here. Okay, and that's the fight.
Close.
Yeah, that was super close, dude. I don't know. I was really worried.
Oh,
Yeah, so
man.
since we're playing on beginner, it's kind of realism mode, I would say. In that everything dies in one shot, pretty easily. And so we're coming onto the boat stage, and we're like basically in the final stretch here. For the boat stage, very simple. You row twice to the right, and then you just start holding forward. So I'm holding forward now. I overshot it a little bit, so I'm just gonna like correct and slow it down, and that's pretty much perfect. One thing in Enhanced Edition that I've noticed is this light is like way smaller, and it kind of bothers me.
I'm just glad this isn't as annoying in original as it is in remake. I hate
This is
in
true.
remake.
Yeah. In the remake, so you may have noticed like the fluidity of the movement,
Mhm.
where James just so smooth slid over to the right, and then we were able to start moving forward in the same motion that we were moving to the right. It was like sort of just a one combined diagonal motion. In the remake, James can only turn the boat in like 45-degree angles,
It's so
and
bad.
the boat doesn't seem to move forward while you're turning it. So it's like this weird juggling of trying to go straight as much as you can, but also making sure you don't go too far the wrong way, because then it'll teleport you back to the
Mhm.
beginning of the section. It's very strange.
Oh, it's teleporting you back to the beginning. I
Yes,
thought
it
it was
is.
just moving the light forward every
No, it
time.
teleports you back
Teleporting
to the
you.
beginning. Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
that
they
sucks.
did figure out how to do it
Nobody's there.
optimally.
There's a ghost.
Did I scare you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did.
That's the
Now
one
it's
cutscene
time to
which we
break
have
the
to skip.
game.
Yeah, so this is the out of bounds. This is like probably the flashiest trick in the run. Oop, and I messed it up one time, so we get more time to explain it. Basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line James up with the seam of the stairs. And while we have the text stored, checkpoints and loading zones don't work. So because of that, I was able to go further up on the stairs than we were intended. And once I sort of clip James out of bounds through the seam on the wall, we just have to run in a straight direction for a while, and we're probably pretty good. Yeah, and then the camera angle will change here, and then I like to line James up with about the door, and you'll see the finale of my magic trick, James. And what this skips is it skips about a minute and a half of what we normally have to do, which is go into the elevator. We have to drop off all our stuff. We have to go down to this section, but without our stuff. And then we collect all these items. We come back around. We go back to the elevator. We collect our stuff, and then we're able to complete the run, which is funny because currently, as it stands, there is no way to skip that in the remake. I think even in the unrestricted version.
Also, it should be noted that even though we have the flashlight, we still have to grab the light bulb from the can and put it in its socket.
Yeah, that is true. We need our canned light bulb. It's extra fresh, dude. I was saying they should have sold that as a collectible item, like canned light bulb, and it's, they're like, no, trust me, bro. Those are some intact light bulbs, and you like shake it around and it just sounds like broken glass, and they're like, don't open it. Like, it's a collector's item. So we're coming through here. Gonna use the fish key. We just have a few puzzles to finish up. Very quick run. We'll show the IGT at the end of the run, but the IGT is actually a little bit quicker than RTA by like, I want to say like a minute or so, depending on how many cutscenes we watch. And this code here is hell. Again, set seed makes it so that puzzle is always the same. And yeah.
Fun fact, the abstract daddies here weren't supposed to be a thing.
That's so.
Yeah, they were not originally supposed to be here, but then were put in for some reason, but they had no intention of doing that, and then they did that.
Yeah, so we solved the puzzle. We're good to go. We have to watch a cool videotape, but we're not here for the cool videotape.
No,
We're here for something.
we don't have to do that in the remake, though. We don't
Yeah.
have to watch the
Yeah, that's true.
videotape.
Yeah, for dog ending in the remake, they got rid of this requirement. Here's what we're all here for. Enjoy.
Omae no shiwata dogo no ka.
Omae no shiwaza datta no ka?
Fun fact, Guy CE hates this ending. He never wanted to do it. He tried to fight them on it and reluctantly did it.
That's time, by the way.
Very good run.
That was awesome.
Shame we didn't get this in the remake.
I know. I was devastated.
No. We just get the song, unless you're playing on 1.0, in which case you don't even get the song.
Yeah. GG. That was actually really good. That
Very good
ended
run.
up. Yeah, that ended up pretty good. My PB in this is like a 34, 40 something, 48, I want to say. And world record is a 34, 20 something, I want to say, by Punchy. So not bad at all.
That was amazing.
But yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abby and Deathtropes, for joining me.
Absolutely.
But yeah, my name is nyiddle. You can catch me on Twitch. I stream almost every day. Been doing a lot of Silent Hill 2 Remake. I also do a lot of the OG. I also do a lot of Enhanced Edition. It's been I've played literally nothing but Silent Hill 2 all year long. Yeah, and Abby and Deathtropes, where can people find you?
Yeah, you're going first this time, Tropes. I went first at the beginning.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, my name is deathtropes. You can find me at twitch.tv/deathtropes. I speed on a lot of Silent Hill. Also, Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, and 4. The remake a lot right now for Silent Hill 2. Yeah, we'd love to have you. Abby, go ahead.
Hi. You'll see me later during Illbleed, so I'll promote myself at that point. But thanks again, nyiddle, for having me. Yeah, you guys should go check out twitch.tv/nyiddle and twitch.tv/deathtropes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Heck
Also,
yeah.
under 4,000 saves. Not bad.
Oh my god, it really was that much. That's awesome. Well, thank you all for such an amazing run. That was one dog ending, but if you stick around, there's going to be another dog ending. Now, apparently, it's not as good. Am I told? As this one?
I think it's still pretty good.
Okay, good. That's what I'm hoping.
It's pretty good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's still good.
All right.
You got to work for it, though.
Yes.
So after we take this short break, we're going to be back with another Silent Hill 2 remake with Avocamu. And everyone just sit tight. We'll be back in just a little bit. Thank you everyone for watching.